do if my vehicle doesn't start? We're going to give you some tips, walk you through a couple scenarios, show you some options on the vehicle. If it doesn't work, then get it towed to your local repair shop, probably Carz R Us. One of the key things is to check the battery. So sometimes the cable will go loose, so you can tighten the nut on the terminal post, and then sometimes you'll have white buildup on one of the terminals or both of them. That's corrosion. And when that corrosion happens, if the metal isn't touching the metal, you can see the post and the terminal are both metal. So if I get corrosion buildup there, that stops the metal from connecting, which is not going to stop the vehicle. One thing to do is check to make sure you have fuel in the vehicle. So even if it doesn't start, as long as it turns to the on position, you've got some power, you can see the fuel gauge there does its sweep test, and now it stays where it's at. So if that's on empty, or you could have a bad fuel gauge or fuel level sensor that's causing it to think it has fuel and you're actually empty. So you could get gas and put some in a can into the fuel tank and see if that does it. Okay, so if I turn my key and I get a click sound, that could be a starter. Okay, or if I get nothing, that could be an ignition switch, something like that. So if you're comfortable testing the starter or trying to tap on it with a hammer and see if it will start, you can do that. If not, that should get towed to a local shop. Okay, so the gear shifter, sometimes we may be stuck, like this could not get all the way in the gear. So you could try wiggling the gear shifter. The only position the vehicle is going to start is in drive, or park and neutral. So if it's in drive, reverse, some vehicles, as they get older, all of a sudden it does allow you to take the key out and it's in drive. So you gotta be careful with that. If it's not all the way in park, you can wiggle this and then try to turn that key and it may start for you. Okay, so in a push start vehicle, pretend this was just a fob. There's a key battery right there, that little screw, you take that out, and then you're gonna have a battery inside of here. So that battery's dead, the vehicle won't start. So if you have a push start, you can actually touch the key, the fob up to the push start, and that's gonna connect the signal potentially. Okay, so that's an option to try. Otherwise, replace that battery and see if that starts the vehicle. Another one is your security system. So the car can sometimes think it's being stolen. If that's happening, where you get like an anti-theft light that lights up on the dash, then what you do, just check your owner's manual, see how to reset that. If you can reset it, it may allow you to start the vehicle. It may be something that's defective in the system that's not going to allow you to reset it. But if it does reset, you may be able to trick that vehicle into knowing that it's not being stolen and be able to start it. All right, and any needs that you have, vehicle's not starting, cranking, not starting, clicking, not doing anything, any of these symptoms, we're going to be able to help you get it towed in here. And actually, if you've been in for service before, we can help you out with the tow. A lot of times we can get you a free tow. So bring it in, we'll get you handled and get you back on the road as quickly as possible.